Hello, I'm Bernie Hayes. Today's guest is the mayor of Dellwood, Missouri, the Honorable Reggie Jones. Today on The Bernie Hayes Show. And welcome back. My guest is the Honorable Reggie Jones, the mayor of Dellwood, Missouri. Dellwood. How you doing, Reggie?
Doing great. Glad to be here.
So good to see you, Mayor.
So good to see you.
You know, Dellwood. Man, there's so much going on in Dellwood. I looked at the papers. I see the St. Louis American. I see TV, and I see you and the city of Dellwood doing wonderful things.
Yeah, we're just blessed, man. We're a small community, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But we have a board of aldermen and residents who believe in the vision that I've put forth. I've been mayor since 2013, right before the Michael Brown unrest.
Right.
And so when that happened, I had some plans and visions, when I first got elected. But when that happened, I had to shift gears a little bit to deal with the unrest. And so after the unrest, we just made it a point to focus on infrastructure and rebuilding the city, and trying to get more businesses to come back. And so it's been a plan that was purposed in what you see going on. So and we're still going. We still have a lot of more plans to do.
Oh, yeah.
And every day we're working hard to try to figure out what can we do to help our people in our city.
A lot of folks don't realize the impact that Dellwood had. They talk about Ferguson,
Absolutely.
all the riots and the destruction and the activism there. They forget that Dellwood also suffered.
Yeah, and during that time, I was working really hard with the national media, not trying to, put focus on how bad we were hit, but just let people know that when it came to resources were going to come down, don't forget about Dellwood, because we were hit probably worse than Ferguson, and people don't understand that because they don't understand the boundaries. And so when you saw the buildings on West Florissant being burned down, when you saw the auto zone, when you saw the Advanced Auto Parts, the O'Reilly store, when you saw Zizza Tire being broken into and looted with the rims, that's always Dellwood.
That was Dellwood, not Ferguson.
Yeah, not Ferguson. And so there was a lot of unrest in Dellwood because people thought they were in Ferguson.
Yeah.
And so that was unfortunate, and we fought hard to try to make sure that we received some of those resources. That didn't necessarily work, but what happened was people did feel sympathetic about what was needed for our community. And so since then, we were able to cut deals with like the Urban League, who's built a brand new senior citizen center in our community. They're finna build another Urban League Plaza across the street from that facility. And we've have so many projects and things that have come forth because people see what our mission is and what our vision is.
What is your vision, Mayor Jones?
Well, the vision is to make Dellwood a community just like Chesterfield. I tell people, my town, we deserve the same thing Chesterfield, Baldwin, everybody else wants. We want the same thing. We want a safe neighborhood. We want good education. We want good policing. We all want the same thing. So I try to teach my staff and my residents, don't accept less. I want the best for my community, the best centers, the best police, the best streets, whatever. I'm trying to change, the mindset. I think sometimes people get in the community and they just accept things that are not going right.
Yeah.
And I refuse to do that. I want to keep pushing forward and make a city like Dellwood the same as any other city in St. Louis County.
Mayor Jones, I know you're associated with sports. How did you choose public service?
Well, I tell you, I've been at Boys and Girls Club, Herbert Hoover Boys and Girls Club for 30 years. And I tell you a story. That's our club is located in what was the third ward in St. Louis City. And so because of that, I dealt a lot with Freeman Bosley Sr., who was the alderman at that time. And I would need different favors and different things for the club, things that we needed that we needed help with. And I would call Alderman Bosley, and the way I witnessed a person that could pick up a phone and make some things happen. And I was so awed by a black man able to pick up a phone and snap of a finger, and things happen. And so when I saw that, it gave me a niche to say, what is this guy doing? How does he make that happen? And so that's how I kind of got interested in politics. And from that, I ran for school board of Riverview Gardens, and it was my first run in 2010. And that was unfortunate because when I won that race, 2 months later, the state came in and took over.
Yeah.
So I didn't have a lot of time to really give a lot of input there. But then I just started running for local offices in Dellwood, alderman, city collector, and then I ran for mayor. So my first itch probably because of the Boys and Girls Club, because down there we're giving back, we're doing service, and we're helping families and helping the community. So all that's mixed in together, the same thing.
Okay, tell us the boundaries of Dellwood. People could still consider Dellwood a part of Ferguson.
Yeah, it's kind of hard. The boundaries is kind of hard.
Boundaries,
You know, basically, when you think of Dellwood, the safest bet to think is West Florissant and Chambers. That's probably the heart of Dellwood. It gets kind of confusing. I can't even explain it because Ferguson kind of surrounds 70% of our city.
Yeah.
And another part is boundary by unincorporated St. Louis County.
Okay.
So basically, if you think about Chambers and West Florissant, and then go in each direction, that's basically Dellwood.
Used to be your old Peaches store there.
Yes, right in the corner. Yeah.
Robbie's, Robbie Montgomery.
Yeah, first Sweetie Pies.
Yeah, Sweetie Pies is there.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yep.
so that's the area.
Absolutely, yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
Well, what got you personally involved? I know you talked about Freeman Bosley Sr. in the Third Ward, where the Boys Club's located. But Reggie Jones, what motivates Reggie Jones?
Well, even I have to give credit to my parents. Man, I had some hardworking parents who were very involved in the community. My mom was always the block captain in the city over there in the old 27th Ward, and my dad was a hardworking teamster. You know, so I grew up in a home where hard work and community and giving back was important. And so when I moved into my community, I was thinking, what's the best way I can contribute? Sometimes we sit back and we attend meetings. I'm the type of person I wanted to be directly involved. So I figured the way to do that is just run for office. Because most of the time we sit back and we talk about things that should happen, things we want to see happen, but what better way to make that happen by being the person who's making it happen.
Wow.
And so that's what kind of got me really involved in it. I love doing it. I love serving people. I love solving issues. I love helping residents, particularly our seniors who sometimes don't have the support at home because kids have moved out. And in some cases, some of their kids moved out of town and they need help around the home, things of that sort. So I just, it's something in me to just love to help people, kids. You know, we have a rec center that we kind of just totally renovated and now provide awesome programming for our youth.
Yeah, I read about that.
Yeah, and so now we're doing things for our youth and even got another program coming up soon that we're trying to get some kids off the street late at night, some midnight basketball type activity. So, you know, I just believe in municipalities should really focus on helping the citizens and coming up with solutions to make their community better.
Apparently they're behind you because they keep reelecting you.
Yeah, but we're working hard. I mean, they can't say we're not working. You know, I'm not perfect, you know, but we do work hard for our community, and I think people see that. You know, and we do things that. What's important when you're in elected office is that you have your finger on the pulse of the community. I think sometimes elected officials fail to have that connection with their community. You know, and so I think I do a good job of knowing what my residents want, knowing what's important to them. That comes through constant communication, constant meetings and things of that sort. And so I don't have to have a town hall meeting when there's a project I want to do. I know what the community wants because I've been in constant contact and I have my pulse, my finger on the pulse. So I think as politicians, we need to work harder on knowing what our community wants and needs are.
Okay, how can we reach you?
Can reach me? I'm one thing about me, I'm an open book. You know, 314-503-2070. It's my cell phone. My email is rjones@cityofdellwoodmo.com. I'm on Facebook under Mayor Reggie Jones, where I post a lot of activities and a lot of things that are going on in Dellwood that's posted there. We also have a City of Dellwood Facebook page as well.
How about your website?
The website for the city is www.cityofdellwoodmo.com.
Okay. You know, you're one of the few mayors that I know that they can reach you by your cell phone.
Yeah.
And you answer the phone and So do you know most of the people, not most of the people, but most of your constituents? I mean, you interact with them?
Yeah, I interact with them. And listen, I go to weddings, I go to funerals, unfortunately. I go, you know, I'm going to visit one of my residents who's in rehab right now who fell and broke her hip. You know, so I really go beyond the call, you know, and I think that's what kind of connects me with my people. I'm not afraid to do, to go even places that are kind of uncomfortable.
Sure.
As far as cultural wise.
Right.
Dellwood is not. Dellwood is probably 80% African American, 20% Caucasian, and no matter who is being affected, I'm going to attend or visit or whatever. I don't make any determinations based on race or status if I'm going to support you or come visit you. So I make it a fact to be accessible. I think that's what when you sign up for these offices, you are basically saying that you belong to the people.
Right.
And sometimes people don't understand that. You can't be elected and then you want to hide and don't want to be accessible. That's not what this is about, especially when you're a small town mayor, because when I go to Family Dollar or Walmart, I'm running into everybody in my community, and we have conversations.
And they know you.
Yeah, you can't say, well, I don't feel like talking, I'm shopping. No, they want to ask about this pothole or about this program coming up, and you have to be willing to have those conversations. And I don't have a problem with that.
Okay. The Honorable Mayor Reggie Jones of the City of Dellwood is our guest today. We're at the New Life Evangelistic Center, 2428 Woodson Road in Overland, Missouri. And Reverend Larry Rice has been supporting services for people for more than 52 years. We need your help and support. We'll be back with Reggie Jones after this.
Just drive downtown St. Louis, drive by City Hall, and you'll see, what do they do? For a year now, a fence is all the way around City Hall and neighboring parks to keep the homeless people out. You talk about a visible enlightenment as to NIMBY and how it exists. Just take a look at St. Louis City Hall. Not in my backyard is what they're saying, but they're not alone. So many other people are saying, not in my backyard when it comes to the hurting and the homeless. So where are they going to go? What are they going to do? We haven't seen a single new shelter open in the city of St. Louis for 15 years due to something called plat and petition. And it's not just the city of St. Louis, it's St. Louis County, Jefferson County, Franklin County, Madison County, St. Clair County in Illinois. What are they doing? They want to ship their homeless to St. Louis. That's wrong. We have to see each county taking care of their own homeless people. And that's why we may have to file a lawsuit in the near future against Jefferson County and St. Charles County and St. Louis County to take care of their own homeless according to Missouri state law and start shipping it everywhere else. Well, in the meantime, we need your help here at New Life Evangelistic Center. We receive no city, state, or federal dollars. Our teams are out every day among the poorest of the poor. They don't need our excuses. They need direct help. We are having to distribute hundreds and hundreds of sandwiches, hundreds and hundreds of bottles of water. We urgently need water. You can bring it to 806 North Jefferson in Springfield or 2428 Woodson Road in Overland, Missouri. There are so many, many hurting people. Yes, in Springfield we get 150, 200 homeless people a day, and most of them sleep outside. So we have to distribute tents and sleeping bags, and long underwear and gloves and socks and hats. Why don't you have a drive at your church and help us at this time? Further information, call us at 1-800-334-3276 or 314-421-3020. That's 314-421-3020. Go to the website at nlecstl.org, and your tax-deductible gifts are urgently needed now. It's New Life Evangelistic Center, P.O. Box 473, St. Louis, Missouri. That's 63166.
When you partner with New Life Evangelistic Center, you impact so many people. The economy in this country is really hurting so many all over. And we're seeing the number of people who are experiencing homelessness rise. You can make a difference today by giving your gift online at newlifeevangelisticcenter.org. newlifeevangelisticcenter.org. Make a real big change in the lives of so many.
Welcome back. My guest is the Honorable Mayor Reggie Jones of the City of Dellwood, Missouri. And we're talking about Dellwood itself. Reggie, Ferguson didn't put Dellwood on the map. You, after the riots and disruption in Ferguson, Missouri, you went on a campaign of rebuilding the city.
Absolutely,
You've done
man.
an excellent job.
And I tell you, one of the first things we did after the unrest is I passed a bond issue, a $7 million bond issue. I'm not even sure if Dellwood had even passed a bond issue previously, but we passed a $7 million bond issue to redo all the streets in Dellwood and to renovate our city hall. Our city hall was very antiquated and outdated, and it just wasn't deserving for what our city really needed. And so we did a $1 million renovation. We have a beautiful city hall. I didn't want to erect a new one because sometimes I think people get caught up in trying to have something new. We had a building that we own. It just needed some attention, you know, and so you try to be a good steward of tax dollars. So we took about $1 million, and man, if you walked into City Hall, you'd think it was built brand new. Beautiful City Hall, and we're able to pave each and every street in Dellwood, which is, most municipalities are not able to do that. And so it was the first thing we did when we came in office to address, Michael Brown. That's what I talked about earlier about we had to switch gears. I may have had some other plans originally, but when that happened, our focus had to be on infrastructure. And, because the administrations before myself didn't really focus on that. And so you could tell by the way the infrastructure of the city was failing. And so that was the first thing we did. So by doing that, it attracted other individuals to say, hey, there's something's going on over here. We maybe need to invest. And so with that, we were able to work with the city of Ferguson to obtain a West Florissant Great Streets Project grant, which we started on prior to 2013. We were just awarded it in the last 3 years by the Biden administration, Department of Transportation, where it's a $25 million investment. It's going to be coming down West Florissant to make it beautiful and with more greenery and lights and more pedestrian friendly. And so, that's coming.
So you work with other municipalities?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, when that kind of money, we're trying to get that kind of money. You have to be able to work with the community. So I work very well with Mayor Reggie Jones of Ferguson and surrounding communities, the mayor of Pylon, Moline Acres. I make it an effort to make sure I work with all my colleagues because there's times where we need each other for whatever, And so that's going to be a real big project, and it's probably going to start sometime in 2025, 2026. We're doing a lot of preliminary stuff now, and it's going to make West Florissant look like something similar to, if you've been in front of UMSL lately on Natural Bridge, we have they redone that same kind of street project. Yes. And so it's going to be very beautiful. And so there's a lot of other projects coming up too. We renovated the old Schnucks Plaza, what was empty for like 20 years. And the R&R Marketplace is there now, which we have this church nonprofit wing of the church that's totally renovated that plaza. And we have a bank. We have Kathy's Kitchen, new restaurant. We have Midwest Center Bank. We have ARCA, which is helps with mental health and drug rehab. Wow, okay. We have an incubator with 40 offices inside of there. I mean, so new daycare. So there's a lot of development. We talked about the Urban League Senior Citizen, 44 units, 100% filled with a waiting list. Beautiful facility, thanks to Urban League President Mike McMillan, who promised me when this unrest happened back in 2013 and 14, he promised me, he said that I will do something with these lots on this West Florissant to help you turn the city around. And he's a man of his word. I know so I have a lot of respect for Mike McMillan because he didn't have to invest in Dellwood like that with projects. He could do a project anywhere in the city, East St. Louis, but he chose to put 2 major projects on West Florissant, which has helped us kind of rebound. So
Michael Patrick McMillan.
Yes, sir. That's a good man.
He does his thing.
Yeah, he's a good man.
Reggie, you an exceptional man, and just from watching you over the years, I've noticed your dedication to your people and to your family, and to everything you do is you're dedicated to it. How did this come about? What gave you this forthright wanting to help, that attitude that you had?
Well, I attribute to my parents, particularly my mom. My mom, who I lost last year, unfortunately, really was a woman who helped everybody. And even when she passed, I found out some things she was doing I didn't even know that she did. But I knew she was the type of person. I just can't explain the type of person she was, but she was just a person that if you needed help, she was there. And you're growing up, you're watching this, and you're watching how important that is to watch a person help any and everybody, even helping people who other people wouldn't help or didn't want to deal with, and like cast-offs or black sheeps of the family. Sure. But she was always there for those people, no matter what. And as you grow up and you're seeing that, it just naturally manifests inside of myself, And I just wanted to always do something, and I didn't necessarily want to know if it was politics, but I always wanted to do something to help people. That's why I started the Boys and Girls Club. That was my first, actually my only full-time job I've ever had in my life is where I'm at now, the Boys and Girls Club. So all I know is Herbert Hoover. That's all I know is helping people. That's all I know. And so it started there wanting to help people, in that case, help families and help kids, get on a right path, and which I've seen. I've been there 30 years, so I've seen kids, that have done some amazing things coming out their club, and they contribute some of that to the leadership of the club and staff that helped them get there. So all of that combined as a young person, my mom watching her and what she did, and just being able to Boys and Girls Club, really all that stuff just manifests together, and I think it just ties right into politics and helping the community.
A lot of folks think black youth, they're at risk and they're going to maybe be in trouble and so forth. That wasn't Reggie Jones.
Right.
You didn't fall through the cracks. You never in the cracks.
Right. And I grew up in Roanoke Park. So make no mistake, I didn't grow up in Dellwood.
Yeah.
I'm a North Sider.
Right. You're in the city of St. Louis.
City of St. Louis.
Inner city.
Matter of fact, grew up one block from Sharper Jones. We were basically neighbors. We both went to Herzog Elementary School together. Reverend Jones was our alderman back in the day. And so I grew up in North St. Louis, but I had great parents. Yeah. I think it makes a difference when you have a mom and dad in the home who, believe in this. I had the perfect setup. I had the mom who was give you the emotional and that kind of support.
And the dad would break your neck.
Dad who didn't play. You know what I'm saying? And so that's the perfect mix that you needed, and it just worked perfectly because, my mom was just so loving, but when it came down to some discipline, Daddy came home from work, it was on.
Serious business.
It was on. And then, we had a kind of family, we ate together, we got home from school. There was no, today people just come home and grab the refrigerator. My mom had dinner ready. We couldn't touch the food until Dad came home.
That's beautiful.
So that's the kind of house I grew up in.
That was a family unit.
Yeah, absolutely. And so that has an effect on, how I raised my family as well.
That's great. My guest is the Honorable Reggie Jones, the mayor of Dellwood, Missouri. And we're at the New Life Evangelistic Center, 2428 Woodson Road over in Missouri. And we'll be right back with the Honorable Mayor, Reggie Jones, after this.
As we feel the darkness pressing in upon us, both personal needs and needs in the world, society as a whole, it's easy for us to get depressed. And when we're depressed and negative and feeling hopeless, we're not going to be able to help anyone. That's why I daily have to draw strength from the Word of God. That's why I have to go on walks in the midst of the wonders of God's works. And that's why I have to be able to see something that's worked for many, many years in my life, is that Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today, and forever, that He's with us always, even to the end of the world, and that we can be a light, letting His love and power flow in us and through us in a cold, dark world. There are people hurting out there. There's people that are crying out to God at this particular moment in the midst of their desperation. Can we be led by the Holy Spirit to them? Can we believe God to reach out and let His love flow through us and by faith help them meet their needs? That's the challenges that the Lord gives us in His Word. Experience the joy of really helping somebody else and letting the light and love of Christ shine in you and through you.
Today we're going to talk about John Mercer Langston, the first African American in the country to hold an elected office. He was the youngest of 4 children, born to 3 blacks in 1829. In 1855, Langston was elected town clerk in Bromhill Township in Ohio, becoming the first elected official in that state. During the Civil War, Langston recruited black volunteers for the Massachusetts 54 Infantry Regiment, officially the first African-American military unit in the country. In 1868, Langston moved to Washington, D.C. to help establish the nation's first black law school at Howard University. He became its first dean and served briefly as acting president of Howard in 1872. In 1888, Mercer ran for the seat in Congress as an independent against a Democratic opponent. He lost, but Langston was finally declared the winner and served the 6 remaining months of that term. Partly because of his prominence, the Oklahoma Territory town of Langston and the college created in the town, Langston University, was named after him. John Mercer Langston.
I want to let you know about all of the many events that are coming up here at New Life Evangelistic Center. You can go online to nlecstl.org/events to learn about the events that we have year-round. We've got some really exciting ones coming up, and these are great ways for you to share the good news with other people as you engage in the social justice issues that are taking place in St. Louis and around Mid-America. We praise God for all of those who are volunteering or participating in our events, And again, some of these, we really need you to get involved as soon as possible. So go to nlecstl.org/events to learn about how you can plug into this community and serve others with your words and with your actions. And when you share those resources, when you get involved in volunteering, you are preaching the good news to so many in practical ways. I thank all of those who are already signing up.
Welcome back. The Honorable Mayor Reggie Jones of Dellwood, Missouri is my guest. Mayor Jones, you're up for re-election this time.
Yes, I'm up for re-election on April the 8th.
2025.
2025. I've currently served 6 terms. Because
Are these 2-year terms or 4-year terms?
2-year terms we do out there, 2-year terms. Which some people say, why don't you try to change it to 4 years? You know, I'm a little different. I like 2 years because it forces you to keep working.
Okay.
Sometimes you do 4 years, you kind of stagnant for 3, and then the last year you're trying to do a little something.
Sure.
But when you every 2 years, it kind of forces you to keep working and moving and grooving. And so that's, what we do. But I'm up in April 8th, 2025, up for re-election. And I look forward to making my case. That's what I have to do, make my case to the residents why I should be reelected. I look forward to doing that.
Have you developed a campaign theme yet?
Not yet, but usually it's around getting things done, getting the job done, which we've done. And my residents know that. I've been fortunate the last 5 elections not to have an opponent. But if I do have one, I'm ready, and my citizens are ready as well, because they want to keep everything moving in place. I'm not perfect, I may make some mistakes, but the residents know that I have Dellwood in my heart, and I'm going to do every decision I make. It's not necessarily going to be the best decision for me, but the best decision for my citizens of Dellwood. So I'd like to think that they will keep reelecting me as long as I keep doing a good job.
For volunteers and contributions, how can they reach you?
Right now, they can reach me on my personal cell if they want to do that. 314-482-3805. 314-482-3805 is my personal cell phone. If they want to help out with anything, do election, they can also go to my Facebook page, which is Mayor Reggie Jones. Simply just put in Mayor Reggie Jones. You can inbox me or make a post, and I'll get back with you.
You haven't come up with a campaign theme yet, but you say your record speaks for itself.
Yeah, my campaign thing always going to be getting the job done.
Sure.
And continue to get the job done. And because we have a lot of stuff we've done, definitely that. But we're doing things, and even what people talk about. I know there's a lot of talk in the city now about ARPA funds and how people use them. Just for example, with our ARPA funds, we've done so much amazing things with that for our community. I gave $1,000 to all residents to fix up their homes or to do exterior improvements.
Yes.
And that was a big success. And people are very, you have people painting their homes, getting new windows, things of that sort.
Mayor Jones, I understand that you gave away some smoke detectors and other things, household.
Yes, we work closely with our fire department, who's very active in our community. And so we purchased, smoke detectors. 2 for each home can have 2 smoke detectors, a carbon monoxide detector, and a fire extinguisher. Those are very important because some homes, sometimes I have working smoke detectors. A lot of them don't have carbon monoxide detectors, and most of them, nobody has a fire extinguisher. Yeah. So we want to make sure that we're, doing whatever we can to make these homes safe any way possible. And so we came up with that idea, and the residents are really excited about that.
Okay, once again, I want to say thank you so very, very much for being my guest. It's so nice seeing you, man.
Oh, no, yeah.
Always,
Anytime, I love to come here. It's my second time here, and I love coming here and seeing you, and you're a St. Louis legend, and it's just an honor for you to interview me, so I'm glad to be here.
Every time I see people out, I say, look, I know the real Reggie Jones. So thank you so much for
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
And thank each and every one of you for supporting New Life Evangelistic Center. We're 2428 Woodson Road in Overland, Missouri, 63114. I'm Bernie Hayes. Have a great day.